Hey guys, I'm Casey, the Nomadic Marketer, and I want to talk to you a little bit today about a couple of concepts that I've learned in nearly 30 years of studying personal development and human achievement. If you ask almost any internet marketer, they're going to tell you that there's two important pieces to the success puzzle, and those pieces are methodology and mindset. The methodology is a particular method that you're using to generate an online income, and this can be Kindle publishing or affiliate marketing or CPA marketing or any one of a host of others. But the other part, equally important, is your mindset. And if you don't have your mind right, your thinking right, then you may generate some success, but you won't be able to maintain it. You'll see it all fall apart. I would equate it to kind of like a garden. So if you take a good seed and you plant it in poor soil like caliche or something, you might get a plant, but it's never really going to reach its full potential. In much the same way, if you take good ideas, the good methodologies, and you plant them into poor soil in your mind and your thinking, then you will never realize your full potential. And so I'd like to talk to you about two concepts that I've learned today over these years that I've been involved in this. The first one is called Gene Winfeldt's cycle of success. So Gene Winfeldt had this idea. Gene Winfeldt was the president of the Kirby Company for years, and he had this idea. It was called the success mindset. And it went something like this. So every person begins an endeavor much like this. They start, and over here, this is the point at which they're starting. Everything's fresh, everything's new, they're excited, things are moving, they trudge up this hill, and they reach a point back here where things begin to get a little mundane and not as exciting. It's the day-to-day, and it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. It can be even learning a new skill. I would say that this cycle applies to learning any new skill, whether that's internet marketing or learning to play an instrument. But you're going to reach a point over here where it begins to get a little mundane. And at this point, you really have two options. You can challenge yourself and move to the next leg up in a series of progressions. And you know, if you have ever followed successful traders in the markets, they'll tell you that the trend is your friend, right? In much the same way your life moves this way. We all know that life doesn't move straight up or straight down. It's a long series of ups and downs. But the idea is that you want it to be a general progression on the way up to bigger and better things. That's what we're all after. So Gene Winfeldt said, if you're not challenged with new opportunity for growth along about this point, it's going to get boring, and one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to flush out the bottom down here and be on to the next thing, or somewhere down here you're going to reach a point where you decide, this is the thing that I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. You're going to redouble, refocus, and you're going to come back around and have another opportunity to make that next leg up. One of my favorite examples of this is from the blog of Charles No. He's a CPA marketer. He talks about the fact that he had generated some real success, and he really felt like he put it all together. And he reached a point in here where it all began to fall apart, and he began to question everything. He wasn't sure. He wasn't sure of anything. He couldn't put it all back together, and he began to fall off. He was playing cards and doing all kinds of crazy things. And one day he got home. He looked in the mirror. He had that aha moment, that epiphany, where he said, "I can't live like this." And frequently it takes pain. Pain is a great motivator. So he had this point of pain down here where he said, I can't do this anymore. I've got to make some changes. He redoubled and refocused his efforts, and in a matter of months he went from making almost nothing per month after having had some good success to he hit the next leg up, and he had $1 million month in CPA. So tremendous success. But the thing was, he hit this point down here on the bottom, he redoubled, refocused, he talks a lot about it, and then he hit that next leg up. So now, let's take this hump right here. I'm going to call this the learning curve. This I call it kind of like a skills hump or a learning curve. And this is an idea that I learned from Ross Perot. Ross Perot once said that most people will walk right up to the door of success, they'll knock, and if it doesn't answer right away, they turn and walk away. And so I would suggest to you that over here on this side of your learning curve or skills hump is maximum effort for minimum results. And on this side is maximum results from minimum effort. So our objective is to get over here where we get the maximum results from minimum effort. But here's the problem. I'm sure you've heard of the Pareto principle. Pareto said the 80-20 rule, right? So we start right here. Most people are going to start right here. They're working up. Things are challenging, but they're learning and growing and exciting. And they're going to reach this point up here, so many people, where they do an analysis or a self-evaluation. And they say, am I getting back equal to what I'm putting out? And in any new endeavor, the answer is almost always going to be no. Because you have to get over here before you begin to see the greatest return. The problem is most people are going to quit somewhere in this window. I'd say 80% are going to quit in this window. And you know what the saddest part of that is? When they quit somewhere in this window, they're going to go right back here and they're going to start over in something else. And when they start over in something else, they're going to have to repeat this process to get back up here. And what you see is people constantly starting over into something new, chasing the next big thing. When if instead they find something, focus all their energy and efforts to a point where they can get to the back side of this, where they begin to see the maximum results from a minimum of effort. But then, again, somewhere right in here, you've got to make this jump. This is the point at which you make the next leg up. So don't be this guy that quits before they get to the back side of the learning curve, or the guy that has to flush out the bottom and start over. Hope you've enjoyed this video and gotten something out of it.